Almost 9 days have passed since the mysterious disappearance of Malaysian Airlines flight MH370, and families, authorities and investigators are still left with more questions than answers. Will we ever find out what eerie fate befell the Boeing 777? Natasha Dissanayake joins us now with the latest on the missing aeroplane. Natasha?
Thank you, Arundhati. We now take a look at the ever-expanding search for the missing Malaysia Airlines plane. Now, as far as we know right now, the missing plane, the MH370 Malaysian Airlines jetliner, left Kuala Lumpur for Beijing at 12:40 a.m. local time almost 9 days ago. It, however, disappeared off the screens of all air traffic controllers' radars by 1:20 a.m. that day. Now, according to satellite evidence, the MH370 or the Boeing 777 aircraft continued flying for roughly 7 hours after it lost contact with all the air traffic controllers' screens. Now, Malaysian Prime Minister Najib Razak, convening a media briefing yesterday, said that the plane could be anywhere from Kazakhstan down to the Indian Ocean. Now, what we see here is the flight path of the plane. MH370 left Kuala Lumpur on its way to Beijing, and then as it reached the east coast of Malaysia, the first airline communication system, the ACARS, or the Aircraft and Communications Addressing and Reporting System, was purposefully disabled. At that point, it, however, continued on its journey towards Beijing, and when it reached the juncture where the Vietnamese airspace and the Malaysian airspace intersected, almost a no man's land, that was where the second airplane system, communication system, was disabled. That was the transponder system. After which it flew back over Malaysia for a period of time, after which it disappeared completely off radar. Now, investigators are focusing on trying to obtain the radar data from any of the countries that the Boeing may have passed over. There are roughly 11 countries: Thailand, Myanmar, Nepal, Bangladesh, Bhutan, China, and India and Pakistan, where it could be. Now, according to satellite data, there are two possible places that it could be. One is the northern corridor from Kazakhstan down to northern Thailand, or the southern corridor down from Indonesia to the Indian Ocean. So, according to satellite data, they suspect it could be in one of these two places. Now, Malaysian authorities convened a media briefing today and confirmed that the hijacking theory is being investigated.
The search area has been significantly expanded, and the nature of the search has changed. From focusing mainly on shallow seas, we are now looking at large tracts of land, crossing 11 countries as well as deep and remote oceans. The number of countries involved in the search and rescue operation has increased from 14 to 25, which brings new challenges of coordination and diplomacy. We are asking countries that have satellite assets, including the US, China and France, amongst others, to provide further satellite data.
The four areas of our focus on the investigations: number one, hijacking; number two is sabotage; number three, personal problem; and number four is psychological problem. That doesn't change, and that includes all the ground staff, everybody.
Now, in the latest series of developments, the Malaysian police have searched the homes of the two pilots, and they have commenced investigations into the psychological state of mind of both pilots. Now, the state of pilot Zahari Ahmad Shah, the main pilot, and co-pilot Farik Abdul Hamid are under investigation by the Malaysian police.
Current and former co-workers said the experienced captain Zahari Ahmad Shah was a flying enthusiast who spent his off days tinkering with the flight simulator of the plane that he had set up at home. Malaysia Airlines officials did not believe he would have sabotaged the flight. Family and friends said the 27-year-old co-pilot Farik Abdul Hamid was religious and serious about his career, countering news reports suggesting he was a cockpit Romeo who was reckless on the job. No details have emerged of any passengers or crew with militant links or psychological problems that could explain a motive for sabotaging the flight.
Now, the hijacking theory, previously largely discounted, has now climbed back to the top of the list for the missing Malaysian Airlines jetliner. The aircraft's communication systems were deliberately deactivated rather. So either the flight crew did this willingly or they were compelled to do so. Now, only 4 weeks ago, an Ethiopian Airlines co-pilot hijacked his own plane to seek asylum in Switzerland. Let's take a look.
The pilot, an Ethiopian in his early 30s, was arrested when the plane landed at Geneva International Airport. The 202 passengers and crew aboard the Boeing 767-300 were not harmed. In 1996, 125 people died after a hijacked Ethiopian Airlines plane crashed in the Indian Ocean after running out of fuel. In that case, the hijackers were seeking asylum in Australia. Sri Lankan hijacker Sepala Ekanayaka gained international notoriety after hijacking an Alitalia Boeing 747 with 340 passengers on the 30th of June 1982. The aircraft was flying 35,000 feet in the air and was carrying 340 passengers at the time of the hijacking. He hijacked the plane in return for his wife and child, who were in Italy.